it's very light.
Ladies and gentlemen, old guy coming at you from Top Gear Power Sports in Roselle, Illinois, again with a Moto Guzzi. This is a 2023 Moto Guzzi V9 Bobber SE. MSRP of this bike, brand new, is $10,790. This will be the first Moto Guzzi that I've been able to ride, so quite excited to take this out. Let's take a close look at this engine, the specs, and then take this bike out on the road and see how it handles itself. 853cc V-twin engine, transversely mounted, so the heads stick out the side of the bike, which is different. I mean, and it's unique. You don't see a lot of these, and I always enjoy riding bikes that are different and that provide that different experience. So, should be pretty fun to ride. This claims a brake horsepower of 65 at 6,800 RPMs, 53.8 foot-pounds of torque, around 5,000 RPMs. So more than enough power and torque for street riding. It's, like I said, it's got character and it's different. I look forward to sharing that first ride experience with everybody. So this bike is not built with the most advanced suspension. This is the basic standard telescopic front fork. This is a 130/90/16 front tire. It does have one single brake disc. That's 330, this has one single brake disc at 320 millimeters. Comes with a 4-piston caliper. This does have ABS. It's got enough for what it is. It doesn't need any more than what it's got, to be honest with you. It's not the most powerful bike in the world. So in the back, it says dual rear shock setup with preload adjustability. It's got a 150/80/16 rear tire, 260 millimeter brake disc, 2-piston caliper. It is also a shaft drive, which also makes it unique, because generally at this price point, you're not gonna find a lot of shaft driven motorcycles. Most of them are chain driven. So again, unique. Check seat height. Okay, so I am 5'9" tall. I weigh 225 pounds. This bike claims a seat height of 30.9 inches and a wet weight of 462 pounds. So let's throw a leg. Quite comfortable. It's doesn't feel super high. I am completely flat-footed. Reach to the bars, pretty comfortable. This is a non-adjustable brake and non-adjustable clutch lever, so that's a thing. Let's get a sound check. And the interesting thing is you rev the Moto Guzzis and they move like this. So let's go experience this bike on the road, see how it is, and then come back and give a final thought. Not the most powerful bike in the world, but it doesn't have to be. We'll say this kickstand is really weird. Kicks out very, very deep. Okay. So we have an LCD screen. This bike is pretty new. Plastic still on it. The seat is a little, the seat's a little stiff. Not completely uncomfortable, it's just a little stiff. Mirrors are not very buzzy, which is nice. There's a little bit of vibration in the handlebars, a little bit of vibration in the foot pegs. It's decent vibration in the foot pegs, actually. You know, it could. I've ridden a lot worse. BMW's R18 Roctane is like freaking riding a freaking dishwasher. It's freaking awful. I hated that bike. So I'm just kind of trying to get a feel for it. I mean, as the first Moto Guzzi I've ever ridden,
Let's fix that. I don't like that. Everything's got to be in line. OCD kicking in. It does feel very, very light to kick over. I mean, I've ridden a lot slower bikes in my life. I mean, the bike ain't cheap. It's $11,000. But, again, I've ridden a lot slow. Let's give 0 to 60. It's not bad. I should have shifted a little bit quicker on the second to third. The transfer between second and third. It was just a little bit behind. As I started dying around 7,000 RPMs, like the power is just not there. And when you got the speed going up, as you saw in that run, about 80, it started getting a little squirrely, you know. Like the suspension, the preload's not, I mean, you can't do anything about the front. I mean, for me, I'd probably have to put a little bit more, a little thicker oil in it. But again, I'm fat, so what are you going to do? This transverse V-twin, it's an interesting feeling. Like when you get on it, you kind of feel it kind of move a little bit this way each time. I mean, I have heard people talk about the Moto Guzzis and the transmission and things like that, because the transmission is separate. It's kind of like a Harley in that regard. This one is, if memory serves me correctly. I could be wrong, but as it wears in, as it gets broken in, it gets smoother from what I've heard. But from a first ride perspective, I can see how I would want it to get a little bit smoother. Just, you know. It's got an interesting sound to it. It really does. I mean, this is the kind of bike that I would take around town. I mean, I'm not going to say land speed records on this thing, but from a comfort perspective, it is a very comfortable motorcycle to ride. I mean, more so than I would expect it to be. The only thing I really don't like is these pegs. Easy neutral. Yeah, I really don't like the pegs, because my foot, I have to go behind these pegs to get my foot in a comfortable spot. You know, it's almost like the pegs should be a little bit, just a tad bit more forward, but they can't, because of the V-twin sticking out. You know, it's just, it looks like, I mean, it's like that's the only spot they could go. So, you know, it's just one of those things. I am sure, without a doubt, you would get used to it and get more comfortable with it, but, you know, it's just, again, it's one of those things where my OCD kicked in there. I had to move that. Just it's funny. The suspension, the around town manager's bike, like I said, very good. Suspension, you know, I need to dial it in just a little bit if I was gonna kind of live on this bike. The tank is nowhere near your knees, but this is also a bike you're not going to be hanging off of, so that's not a big deal. I do like the Moto Guzzi emblem on the tank. It's really nice. Sweet. It really is. It's not an uncomfortable bike to ride at all. For the price tag, 10, 11 grand, you know. I mean, it's competing with the Triumphs and all that other good jazz. So that's the other thing. I'll show it when I get off. The kickstand is all the way back here underneath the exhaust. That little knob sticks out so you can get a hold of it, but it is way back there, so a little weird. See, the tank has got that interesting design. It's just different. It's just different. So, Moto Guzzi 2023 V9 Bobber SE Special Edition. The foot pegs are my biggest problem. Kickstand. Other than that, I mean, it's unique. It's different. Sound check. It starts throwing itself at you. I enjoyed it. I think it's a very nice bike to ride. See, I look at it from the perspective of, if I had infinite money, would I buy one? Yeah, I'd buy one. It's cool. It's different. It's unique. It's got character. I mean, if I bought one, would I like be super meticulous on maintenance on it? Absolutely, I would. Just because that's who I am. You know, everything I buy, it's like maintenance, constant. I mean, you know, I have 8 bikes right now. Having to do maintenance on 8 bikes is constant for me because I ride to work, all that other good jazz. So let's put it this way. Would I take it to work? Yes. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Doesn't have to be fast. I just need to put some bags on the side. I'd be good. Good to go. So yes, I would commute on this bike. All right, everybody. Special thanks Top Gear Power Sports for letting me take this beautiful bike out for a little ride, try it, experience it. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate them for letting us share these bikes with you guys. And I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, share the video with everybody. Let's get more bikes in front of eyeballs, more people, get more people riding. All right, everybody. Stay safe. And as always, enjoy the ride.